Hi guys, thank you for watching my video. My name is Charayne and I'm going to be telling you my top 10 tips for travelling with toddlers and babies to Disney World. So let's get started. My first top tip would be research. Do your research, whether you're staying on property, off property, if it's just about going on the internet, going on the Disney website, subscribing to me so I can give you loads of videos and hints and tips. Do your research because it will be the best thing that you do. There is so much to know and to learn about Disney World that if you don't do your research, when you get there, you will feel so overwhelmed, and when you leave, you'll feel like, you're missed out on so much. So definitely say do your research. Top tip number 2 would be to, if you can, get a flight around nap time with your babies. Or toddlers, that would be the best thing. For Americans, that's quite good because you fly so often to Disney World, but for UK, I know it's a bit harder. So if you can't do that, then what I would say is definitely on the morning of your flight is to wake up a little bit extra earlier than you would normally do. So when you're around the airport, by the time you and your children get on the plane, they'll be tired and they're ready to go for a nap, or they're ready to go for a quite long sleep. So that's top tip number 2. Top tip number 3 would be get a backpack. A lot of people have a Disney backpack for when they go in the parks, but for us mothers and fathers out there, definitely say get a backpack for your hand luggage. If there's a couple of adults going, then definitely bring a couple of your wheelies as well, the ones that you will usually get them in packs of 3. Definitely bring one of them, but I'd definitely say bring a backpack. It just makes your arms be free. If your child's running around or you need to pick up, you're not having to then pick up and kind of juggle it, you've got your arms free. I would say they're the best inventions, and plus you're going to use them for the park anyway, and I will be doing another video to let you know what I bring in my backpack into the parks. So definitely bring a backpack, or if you haven't got one, go and buy a backpack, because trust me, you're going to need a backpack. As you can see, I've got 2 high chairs in the background. I have 2 toddlers that I went with last year. One was 2, one was 1, and I also had a 9-year-old as well. So in total, there was 5 of us, including my husband. So, had our hands full, but I definitely done all these tips that I'm giving you right now. So top tip number 4 is bring snacks. Bring snacks for your flights, for your toddlers, and for your children. If you're going with children that are like 7, 8, and 9 years old, bring snacks. I brought things like What's-Its, raisins, quavers, bananas, grapes, things that don't really need much, don't bring sandwiches. By the time you have them, on the plane, they're going to be a bit soggy and things. Bring things that are not going to be spoiled for by the time you get on the aeroplane. Because especially for your toddlers, if they're sitting on your lap, your infants, they're not going to be able to get plain food. They do say you can have the adult plate as well, but to be fair, plain food shouldn't get that much on there, so you're going to want that for yourself. So you're not going to really want to share with your infant, so definitely bring snacks. Also bring your jars. If you can get a few of your Heinz or your Cowengate jars, bring them, because they're going to be amazing just to have on the flight, and also to have when you get into the parks as well. Stops you from having to stop so much to get snacks and things when you're in the park. Also, if you have got a baby that's still requiring milk and you're not breastfeeding, then I would say if you any brand that you want, but every baby formula, they do like about, I think it's about 100 ml or 90 ml of ready-made milk. I brought about 4 of them for the flight, and then I bought the big 2-litre bottles, or litre bottles, about 6 of them for when we got there for the holiday. The great thing about them is if you sterilise your bottles beforehand and just keep them in your bag, then you can just pour them in straight away, and your bottles are already sterilised. The baby can have them at room temperature, and that's that. It's better than bringing the powder and then having to find water on the plane, asking them to bring boiled water, then you're trying to cool it down, and that's so much hassle. You're going on holiday, you don't want hassle, so definitely bring the ready-made milk if you can. So that's my top tip number 4. Top tip number 5, if you can afford it, if it's in your budget, definitely stay at an airport hotel. Recommend that to everybody, not even just people who are traveling with toddlers and babies. Everybody, stay in an airport hotel. Let your holiday begin the night before. This brings me on to top tip number 6, which is your twilight check-in. Now, I'm flying from Manchester with Virgin in November, and I've just learned that Virgin don't do twilight check-in, so this is going to be an experience for me for the first time not doing this. But usually what I would do is check in my bags the night before. When we went to Disneyworld last year with Thomas Cook, we checked our bags in the night before. The great thing is you get to go around the airport and actually see where you need to go, see where security is, see, and it's not busy. So you got your kids and you're going around there, going to get yourself something to eat from the airport, and also check your bags in, because if you do that, the next morning you know where you're going, you know where security is, you can just go straight there because you've got your boarding passes and everything, and it's much busier in the mornings than it is in the evenings. So you don't want that extra added stress, which I'm going to have on November when I go. The great thing is I'm going to be vlogging that video with you, so you can see the stress and, you know, how I keep it cool, how I keep it together when I go in November. So that's my top tip number 5 and number 6. My top tip number 7 would definitely be, let your kids run around in the airport. When you get there, when you've gone through duty free and everything like that, and you've got everything that you want, you've had something to eat and you're just chilling, you're just relaxing, let your child or your toddler run up and down, because, you know, they're excited, they're going on holiday. It may be some of their first time on the plane, it may be not, but my daughter, when she was 2, she was running back and forwards and running back to me and then running back again and running back forward. But, you know, don't stress yourself. Don't be thinking, oh, stop. You know, let them be kids, let them be toddlers, let them be babies, and just let them kind of do what they want. And the great thing about that is that when it comes to going onto the plane, they will be so worn out that they will just conk. They will just go. So that brings me on to top tip number 8. When you get on the aeroplane, a lot of people are worried about babies and toddlers for when the flight goes and babies' ears popping. I know when I've been on a few flights before I had kids, you used to hear some of the babies screaming, and I'm talking about screaming. Luckily, touch wood, my kids did not cry once on the airplane. I was like, they didn't cry once. The tip for this is, if you've got a baby or a toddler, when the plane is going to take off, if they have a dummy, give them their dummy or give them their bottle or juice. Make sure they're sucking or swallowing as you're going up. This is a tip for you adults as well. If you can get a hard-boiled sweet, like I like cherry drops, have one of them in your mouth, or a chewing gum, something like that, or just drink a drink, and it does really help with the ears popping. It stops the ears popping, and it will just make your life so much easier. Okay, so that brings me on my top tip number 9. Top tip number 9 is, bring things in your backpack or in your hand luggage that your kids can play with. You can have iPads, you can have card games, you can have the little board games. Definitely bring your child's like snuggle blanket, if they have a snuggle blanket or a snuggle teddy, their favourite teddy, that will help them settle. Bring that onto the plane with them, because it will just help them settle, will have them at ease, and it will also bring them distracted. When you've got younger kids, you don't just rely on the seatback television, because you can bring your own headphones, which is really good, because the headphones on the plane that they supply you is probably not going to fit your toddler's ears. So if you bring special headphones as well, that will help them and maybe distract them a little bit longer. But a TV is probably not going to distract them for as long as you want, unless you have a Disney fanatic toddler that will just sit for hours watching it. Then great, do that. But I played games of mine, played I Spy, played peekaboo, you know, make things fun for them, make things exciting. Touching on that, what I'd also say is, we are a family of 5 and our seat row was 242. So what I would do is, when I was going to ask them to book our seats, I asked them, because my husband wanted to sit near a window, but obviously we all wanted to be across, is to leave a middle seat free. So we were a family of 5, so my husband and my younger child were on the outer seat, and then my 2-year-old was there, and I booked a seat at the other side, so there was a gap in the middle. You don't really get people who want to sit in the middle seats, so we got, luckily enough, the middle seats free. So when it came to going on the flight and taking off, we had 2 extra seats there, and we could just relax. I put my little baby boy down, and I changed him when I was there, just on the flight. Instead of taking him all the way to the toilet, I just changed him there and then, you know. And when he slept as well, when my arms were having a bit of an ache, I just put him down and let him rest. So that is one of my definite tips as well. So bring board games, and also when you're pre-booking your seats, if you've got an odd number of people, leave a gap in the middle, because a lot of people don't want to go in the gap in the middle. Okay, so we're on my last tip. Wow, that was quick. Wow, that was quick. Yeah, top tip number 10. Parents, this is your holiday too. This is your holiday. So have fun, enjoy it, enjoy every single moment. Don't stress, have fun. Subscribe to my channel so then you can see all my top tips on fast passes. I'm going to be talking about Disney dining plan, about the benefits of staying on site. I'm going to be doing loads of videos up to my trip in November, and I will also be vlogging my trip on November, so you'll be able to see everything that I do, and then how it's worked out in the end, and all the special things that you can do, and how to kind of get the most out of your trip, because a lot of people have spoke to me about it. A lot of my friends who have gone after me have said, like, asked me tips and stuff, and I have so much insight and things. They're like, you know what, you should do a channel, which is hence why I'm doing this video right now. So definitely subscribe, and you'll see all my upcoming videos every couple of weeks with different hints and tips about your Disney World holiday. And then if you do have any comments, or if there's any tips that you want to know from anything that I've said, then please comment below and I'll get back to you. Thanks so much. Thanks, bye.